I'm interested in structures, architectural structures, man-made, human-made structures that extend beyond what we might think of as a natural boundary, an edge. There's this extraordinary edge here, which is land, sea, sea, land. And the notion of adventure beyond that boundary interests me quite a lot. I'm fascinated by the boats that dot along the ocean there. And the idea of venturing out there into that exciting, frightening place that is unfathomably sized and unknown. I find it quite difficult to articulate why it's so important that there's a lot of apparently empty space in the gallery, but it's something to do with the empty space through the windows, or the potentially endless space through the windows. So actually the gap to one side of the sculpture doesn't seem very big to me at all. It seems like it could be even bigger because of the generosity of the space out there. I like the idea very much that people might walk up and down it to look at it, that you don't just stand still. You sort of get involved by promenading up and down the gallery. And maybe people will look at the sculpture from outside as well. They'll go up and down and up and down. So there's an idea of inside and outside and where things might belong. This sculpture definitely belongs inside, but it's very much connected with outside. I think early on, the idea of making this structure was quite a quick idea. It came very quickly from essentially I was inspired by the building itself, by the details of the building, by the architectural furniture of the railings and the windows and the chairs and so on and so forth. So and then the second step was how to make such a thing, what to make it out of. And there was a bit of toing and froing, and then I spoke to my wonderful fabricator and assistant Linton White, and we eventually decided to make this thing in tulip poplar wood, which is a blonde wood, but it's a very hard wood and easy to carve and cut and construct. And so there's been a long toing and froing process where I made some one-to-one drawings from my imagination. I looked at some Victorian lithographs that I found. I talked to architects, I talked to people who are involved with seaside architecture and so on. And over a period of a year or so, the thing got made. There were a few false starts, there were a few mistakes, there was lots of adjustments. There was some moments of doubt, probably. And the final gesture, I suppose, is actually setting the sculpture up here in Warr. So the sculpture in here, in some way, to me, feels like a word placed in the landscape. But I wanted to make an actual word. So there's a flagpole here, and there are flags around, and it's a very windy place, so it seemed an obvious thing to do. I wanted the flag to look a little bit like a pirate flag. It's black and white, and it has the single word, wave, which is a sort of small joke, and maybe refers to the ocean a little bit, and just as an instruction for people to wave in a joyful way, rather than, it's not a warning flag, it's a flag for people to wave at.